Turkey in 2020, coronavirus in Turkey and latest news. What is the government doing to protect the country and the people? What will be the impact of coronavirus on the economy and tourism in Turkey? What support has the government extended to the economy by now? What does the life of ordinary people in Turkey looks like today? All of that in detail now. Stay with us. The first confirmed case of coronavirus infection was recorded on March the 11th, 2020. As of March the 18th, there are 191 officially confirmed cases of the infection. Unfortunately, 2 of the affected people have died. By the time this issue is published, the number of people having the disease will probably have grown. Let's talk shortly about the main measures to fight the virus. After that, I will tell you about the current situation in tourism and the Turkish economy, and about the emergency economic support package announced by the state on March the 18th of this year. For protection from coronavirus that could be brought from abroad, Turkey closed the land borders with Iran, Greece and Bulgaria. Also, air travel to and from China, Iran, Iraq, Italy, South Korea, Germany, France, Spain, Norway, Denmark, Belgium, Austria, Switzerland, Bulgaria, the Netherlands, Azerbaijan and Georgia was cut off. In Turkey, all kindergartens, schools and colleges, places of mass gathering like theaters, cinemas, public bodies, cafes, nightclubs were closed. There were issued recommendations on closing down shopping malls. In short, all the country switched to the isolation at home mode. The news constantly report the situation and explain how to protect oneself and one's family from the virus. Italy's example is right there before everyone's eyes. All people see just how quickly the virus spreads across the globe and especially in Europe. So Turkey doesn't want to pretend that nothing is happening. There are much less people in the streets and the public transport. All who have the opportunity prefer to stay at home with their families. Of course, people bought up food and basic products, but there are no panics or long lines in the shops. All goods are available except for the medical face masks and Turkish eau de cologne used for disinfection. By the way, in Turkey, N95 medical masks, which provide better protection, are now being sold with prescription only. This is done to stop speculation in the market. So how has all of that influenced the Turkish economy? People and the tourism industry are frightened. Numerous hotels, especially those working with European clients, are being closed. No one knows for sure how long this situation will last, and hence no one can make any forecasts. It's apparent that if the situation with the virus in Turkey and all over the world is resolved quickly, that is before the high season starts in June, the tourism sector will recover. However, if the situation continues further, it will be a tough time for the tourism industry and the Turkish economy. This applies to all the world, though. In order to support the economy, on March the 18th, 2020, the Turkish government approved a state support package worth 100 billion Turkish liras. Briefly, here are some of the most important measures. Minimum pension benefits were raised to 1,500 Turkish liras, or approximately $230 at the exchange rate on March the 19th. The due dates for Social Security and VAT amounts payable by businesses for April through June were extended for a period of 6 months. The VAT rate for airlines was cut from 18 to 1% for 3 months. Maximum days a loan may be past due were extended to 180. The State Enterprise Loan Guarantee Fund targeted at firms having insufficient collateral was expanded from 25 to 50 billion Turkish liras. The government will extend financial support and 90-day installment schedules to companies in distress for them to be able to pay their loans and accrued interest. New loan facilities will be organized for people in need. The state is extending 2 billion Turkish liras to support those in need. People of the age of 80 and older will be able to stay at home and receive care from the state. These are main points of the state support package. It's much broader, of course. So it's possible to say these are the right and timely steps by the Turkish government. However, some experts and myself think these are clearly not enough. Stronger actions are needed to support businesses, such as companies' debt and tax arrears restructuring to provide longer terms and lower or zero interest rates. Loan restructuring bringing softer terms and government guarantees could be needed also. This will help businesses to weather the adversities. It is well understood that the economic reality demands maximum support for businesses from governments all over the world. We think that this support package has to expand, and it will do so. However, it will depend on how the situation unfolds and how fast Turkey and other countries will manage to take the spread of coronavirus under control. Thank you for being with us today. Subscribe to our channel to be informed on the latest news and updates from professionals on life and doing business in Turkey. I, Sergey Volchenkov from Tolerance Homes Real Estate Agency, was with you today.
С вами был Сергей Волченков, агентство Tolerance Homes.